Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and in this video, I am now going to review This Is the End. If you guys saw my June movie preview show video, you guys know that This Is the End was my #1 movie in June. I didn't want to see any other movie in June more than I wanted to see This Is the End. This movie just looked hilarious, and it looked so funny. I couldn't stop laughing. I laughed so many times in the trailer, and I love a lot of people involved in it. I mean, Jonah Hill, I've loved mostly all of his movies. Michael Cera, who really recently grew on me. I mean, I've never loved Michael Cera, but actually, let me show you guys something. When the movie was over, I had gone back to Walmart and gotten this, and it stars most of the people that were in this movie. Yeah, you got Pineapple Express, Superbad, Year One, and Youth and Revolt. I didn't see Year One, but I saw the other three, and they're really funny. So, yeah, so I've loved mostly everything that most of these people have done, and I gotta say, This Is the End is absolutely hilarious. And honestly, I think even people who don't like these actors, like some of them, I mean, if you like some of them, at least you'll have a good time with this. Anyone you don't like in this movie, you'll like in this movie. For example, some people can say Seth Rogen is annoying, but maybe they like some of the other people in this movie. You'll like Seth Rogen in this movie. Because everyone in this movie is completely hilarious, completely likable, and completely relatable. Because basically it has to do with the plot of the movie. And the plot of the movie pretty much is that there is this, well, it starts off pretty simple. It's Seth Rogen visiting, I'm just going to point to the people as I'm pointing, so you know who I'm talking about. But Seth Rogen, he's going to visit Jay Baruchel, who, he hasn't seen him in quite a long time. They've known each other since they were kids. They've been best friends forever, and pretty much he's going over to meet him, and they find out that James Franco is having a party, so they go over to LA to James Franco, where he's having a party. Jay Baruchel, though, feels very uncomfortable at this party, though, because he doesn't know a lot of people, and a lot of people don't really seem to like him, so him and Seth Rogen go out to a convenience store, where after that, once they go to the convenience store, there's this huge earthquake, and they go back to the party. Nobody felt the earthquake, but then when they come back, there's this huge hole in the middle of James Franco's party that sucks all these people up, and so then the only people that are left are Seth Rogen, James Franco, Jay Baruchel, Craig Robinson, and Jonah Hill, the only people that are left, and later Danny McBride, but it's always Danny McBride that ends up being later in the movie. I mean, in Pineapple Express, it's later in the movie, but yeah. So basically, the idea of the movie is for them trying to survive and also trying to figure out what is going on here, why is this happening, and as I said, it was hilarious. And first of all, I'm going to talk about people in this movie and what I really loved. The first thing that was perfect about this movie was that everybody plays themselves, but there's a twist. They play an exaggerated version of themselves. Every person who's in this movie, they're not really playing themselves. And I kind of feel like some of this was created as they went along. Because a lot of it does get a little weird towards the end. I'm not saying like it's very weird. It does get a little weird towards the end, though, and I feel like as they went on, they sort of had ideas of improv on how to make this movie sillier and sillier, and I have a feeling that mostly everything they said, I think, was improv. It just seemed that way. It seemed like it was done that way, and if it was, that was awesome, because, I mean, most of the lines felt like that. It mostly just felt like they had a good time as they went along. Basically, as they went along, they created more lines. So yeah, I really enjoyed that, and the other thing that I loved about the movie was that they make fun of each other's movie careers. For example, they all make fun of James Franco in Spider-Man 3. James Franco kind of, this is only in the movie, I don't know if he does this in real life, but in the movie, he keeps these, a piece of every single movie he's ever done. Something from every single movie he's ever done. And, yeah, Spider-Man 3, they make fun of Spider-Man 3, and I thought that was really funny. Jonah Hill, pretty much, he doesn't want anybody else to remember his films besides Moneyball because he got an Academy Award nomination for that, and he's trying to do more serious films, pretty much. And while I'm talking about the people, want to get into the people, we're going to start off with the main one, Seth Rogen, who I used to be really annoyed by, but now he's not annoying anymore. Ever since I saw Pineapple Express, I've loved Seth Rogen's work. I thought he was great in Pineapple Express. In fact, Pineapple Express is one of my favorite comedies of all time, as well as Superbad. So that's pretty much why I got that. It was only $9. The one thing I am going to say about this DVD, though, is that when you get it, it doesn't have any special features. So that's not a bad thing, though, because at least I have the movies. But, with this, though, what happens is, with Seth Rogen, what I loved about him was that he was just funny the entire time. He was funny, he has some really nice scenes with Jay Baruchel, who also is really great, and they make a really nice duo. All the scenes they mostly have together, and I loved all their scenes together. There's some really nice scenes in the beginning with them, at his house, basically just having a great time, and that was great. I really loved those scenes. I thought that was really funny. So, yeah, really enjoyed those scenes. And then we get some of the other people. The next person I want to talk about is James Franco, who was absolutely hilarious. I didn't think he could be as funny as he was. I mean, he was great in Pineapple Express, but he was so funny here. He blended in so well with everybody. I mean, he was perfect to be in this movie because he really blended in well with everybody, and I really enjoyed, you know, what he did. He kind of is the lead. He tries to be like the leader of the group. Really, he's very stuck up, though, and doesn't really let people do all this, you know, kind of just keeps things for himself. Like, he has this Milky Way bar. One of my favorite scenes in the movie is they have this recurring thing with the Milky Way bar where everybody wants the Milky Way bar, but James Franco's like, oh, no, I was going to have this after the party, and, I was gonna have this after my party, and I was gonna eat it after then, so nobody can have it. And, there's a whole big thing about them with food. That was really funny. And I just thought he was very funny, especially because he tried to be the leader, but really he was just self-centered in the movie. So, but he was great. Honestly, James Franco was great. Then there's Jonah Hill, who is probably the most drastic of playing exaggerated versions because he is very different in this movie. I'm sure this is not how he acts in real life. He basically acts like a homosexual the whole movie. He really does. And you know what? That was great because I don't think he really is, but he was acting a lot like it. And you know, there's a really funny thing that happens to him, which I'll talk about in the spoilers. But again, I really love the thing of him not wanting to do other movies than Moneyball. He didn't want to talk about any of his other movies. So yeah. Then you have Craig Robinson, who I'm redoing this video because of that, because I accidentally called him Craig Bierko, who was in the Scary Movie films. I don't know why I call him Craig Bierko. His name is Craig Robinson. He was hilarious. I know I've seen him in something before, but I can't really put my finger on it. Then I checked Wikipedia, and he was in Pineapple Express, but I think it was more than that because I think he did more than that. I can't exactly remember, though, what else I've seen him in besides Pineapple Express. But I definitely remember seeing him somewhere, and he was great in the movie. He has a lot of really great one-liners, and he's just really, really funny. And then the last person is Danny McBride. He's the last lead, and he is really great, too, because he kind of just crashes the party, and he kind of just, he's the one that's mainly the villain of the group. He's trying to steal all their food, take everything for himself, and he ends up taking all their food, and he was just great. So yeah, everybody was great in the movie. And another thing I forgot to talk about was they do a Pineapple Express 2 trailer. You guys saw it on April Fool's Day when it came out, probably. They did an April Fool's joke with Pineapple Express 2. That's in the movie, but it's like really videotape quality. Because everything they do is like on this old video camera. And that was hilarious. Honestly, when they did that, that was all really funny. And there's a part that I love where they're like, maybe we should make other sequels to our movies. And so Dan McBride and James Franco are like, don't do a sequel to Your Highness. Just don't. And that was funny because nobody liked Your Highness. And I really like that they did that because I thought that was really funny. So now now I want to talk about some of the cameos. The big one that isn't really a cameo, but Michael Cera really was hilarious in the whole movie. I mean, he was really funny. He acted a lot different than I've seen him in movies. Most of the movies he does, he's really down to earth. He's really the down to earth guy. He's the lovable nerd. Most of the movies he does, and he sounded a bit different too. He didn't sound girly like he usually does. What am I saying? I sound girly, but he's like, you know, I think his funniest movie was actually Youth in Revolt. I loved him in that movie. And he was great in this. He has a very funny scene, especially his death scene when he dies, which is he's the first one to die in the hole when there's the black hole. He's like, have any of you guys seen my cell phone? And that's the one thing he's worried about when he's about to die. And then he's like, oh crap, I left it in my, well, this is an unfortunate turn of events. And then he just dies. That was hilarious. That was the other thing. The blood and gore was very over the top, but it doesn't matter because it's a comedy film, so it's very over the top, though. So if you guys are wondering, the blood and gore is very over the top. But the other one I want to talk about, of course, is Emma Watson. She was great. She basically, I just thought she was really funny, especially the scene where they're all talking about, let's not try and do anything that would make her uncomfortable, and she thinks they're talking about trying to rape her, and then she hits them with the axe, and she breaks Seth Rogen's glasses. And then they're like, Hermione stole all her shit. That was hilarious. And I thought that was really great. So that was definitely one of my favorite scenes. And so now I'm going to get into some spoilers for This Is the End. And basically these are spoilers because I don't want to ruin the movie's best parts for you. Now, most of the parts I've talked about so far you've seen in the trailer. So, yeah. First thing I want to talk about, the other thing I forgot to talk about before I get into the spoilers, I loved how they stocked up on all the foods. And when Seth Rogen was reading everything off, he just read really fast, and that was really funny, honestly. I really loved that. So now, the first thing I want to talk about, of course, is Jonah Hill getting possessed. That was hilarious. Honestly, that was really great because, I keep saying honestly, I don't know why, but the thing with Jonah Hill that I loved was that, as I said, he's a very exaggerated version. He really didn't do a lot in the film other than be there and make some really funny jokes. But he was great in there whenever he got possessed. That was really funny. The scene where he got possessed was great. And I just absolutely loved it when he got possessed. That was hilarious. The other thing I loved was the whole thing with the rapture was great. That was hilarious. But I think one of the funniest parts is Danny McBride being a cannibal. Hilarious. Basically, if you haven't seen it and you're still listening for the spoilers, he basically leaves the group because he gets worried that, he gets upset that they won't let him do certain things and he gets tired of the rules. So he leaves the group and he becomes a cannibal. That was a perfect fit because of what his character was the whole movie. That was just perfect fit. That was hilarious. So yeah. Then the last thing I want to talk about is the Channing Tatum cameo. I wasn't expecting that at all, and that was great. My favorite cameo, though, I think was the Backstreet Boys. That was hilarious. When Jay Baruchel asked for the Backstreet Boys to reunite, and then they start going Backstreet's back, all right, and they started singing it. That was great. That was the perfect way to end the movie. It was great. That was the other thing I loved, is that the movie was almost a parody, because you know how with parodies, the style is that it always is joke after joke. That's how this movie is. It was almost a parody, except that it was an original story. It wasn't really it just was in the style of parody, because the movie at no point in time takes itself seriously. It is completely funny the entire movie, and I love that. So, overall, I love This Is the End. I highly recommend you check it out if you haven't already. Also, check out these movies, Pineapple Express, Superbad, and Youth in Revolt. Highly recommend those 3 as well. But that's it for my review. This is the end. I hope you enjoyed it. And let me know who your favorite was. Did you like that didn't take itself too seriously? Did you like that? Did you like the scene where Jonah Hill got possessed? What do you think of all the outcomes of everybody? What do you think of the whole thing with the rapture? I just thought everything was great. That's it for my review. I hope you enjoyed. My next video will be my review of Zack Stone. So see you then. Bye.